Namaste friends, this is Arun. I am from Atlanta, Georgia. I've been practicing meditation from past 10 years. And today we are going to have one-on-one discussion with we have a great master here with us and we are going to share the wisdom as well as his experience and many more things and all the happening events he is organizing as a part of PSSM USA and he is one of the co-founder of PSSM USA. Maybe you can call him founder of PSSM USA, and he is none other than Mr. Srikanth Garla. Namaste, sir.
Namaste, Arun.
Welcome to PMC USA.
Yeah, thank you, Arun. Thanks for having me here. Welcome you all, friends, for this wonderful discussion session.
So first of all, before going to the session, we want some brief introduction of yourself, how you came to meditation, what triggered you to get into this meditation.
Yeah, so for most of us, right, we have got this meditation practice through our parents. So it is the same even for me. So my parents introduced this about 15 years ago, and one of the great inspiration came, even though it was introduced by parents, my inspiration came through my kids. So that was a very good experience I had having an inspiration from the kids. That's, I would say, an unique inspiration, because for everybody, either their parents are masters or gurus, but for me, my kids are my gurus.
Oh, wow, great. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. And I have heard that in the entire USA, I think you are the first one who started this culture, like creating a meditation room in one of your home, in the home, and you started inviting the people to do meditation. How exactly it happened? Can you please explain?
Yeah, so I would not say I'm the first one in the US, because there were people in Indianapolis who had done that before. But as a center and taking this movement as forward, I would say I came in the initial times. So that time when nobody were around, in Atlanta at least. Let me talk about Atlanta first, because that's where we started our initiation, and then we had all the masters across the US in various regions. So in those days, our only goal was to take meditation outside, because we were feeling so happy within ourselves by learning this technique of meditation. So our only goal was to take this forward. Right. So we did not have any plans of any organization, nothing, right? Our whole motive was to invite just close families and friends, and we were sharing with whatever thoughts, what we had, whatever we have learned. At that time, I would say I was not even that confident of the entire subject. But as our Guruji Patriji always says, that whatever you learn today, you can teach that tomorrow, and later you learn something new, and then you can share that. So that is the only thing we had in our mind. And of course, with the help of our parents, they were also there with me at that time in the US. So with their support, I was able to invite close friends and families, and that is how that seed started. And we did that continuously. This whole thing was what I would say, based on the experience, the consistency. What we did as a center is we fixed up a time in a week that this is the time this session will happen no matter what. Right? And that is how we used to bring on. There will be sometimes 1 people, there will be sometimes 10 people, no matter what, the session would happen. So that is how we started, and people got accustomed to that timing and that schedule, and then slowly people started coming and appreciate doing that. So once they come and do, they have that taste, and they practice at their homes also. Right, so that is the whole advantage of this whole technique, that you can learn and then go back to your homes and do. You don't need guidance all the time. right? This guidance is needed only to the extent when they come to a stage where they can do it for themselves. But that is how it all started, and we were able to continue it throughout for about, now I would say, close to 10 years. So that's how our journey started here in Atlanta.
Wow, great. So you had like weekly sessions in the earlier days, or what?
Yeah, so it was, of course, last 2 years because of this pandemic, we stopped the in-person sessions. But until then, we used to have every week one session at our center. So over a period in Atlanta alone, we had 7 different centers in different parts of Atlanta, so that every day there was some session going on in some locality of Atlanta, so that all the local people in that area, they would go to that place and do meditation. So at any given point of time, some session is going on every day. So that is how we used to operate in Atlanta.
So in the initial days, like it would be like weekly once at your center,
Yeah.
and going forward, like one inspired from the other, and the other.
And that is how it built up to 7 centers before pandemic. That's how it was.
That's great to hear. Like, so someone inspired from you, and they started their center in their place, and like weekly twice at one state, and then weekly thrice, then like 4
Yeah.
times in a week. Okay.
Yeah, like that 7 days we covered with 7 different centers in Atlanta itself
Wow, this is before pandemic.
before pandemic.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, wow. So you have like 7 days wherever you are. Like if it is close to your home on that particular day, you can go there and visit. And these are all public centers, right?
Yeah, these are all centers which were created in their homes. So, but it's an open invitation. Anybody can come when they get that notification that there is a session happening there. So, no obligation whatsoever. You don't have to inform. You don't have to take prior appointments, nothing. For that particular time in that particular center, the schedule is already given. So, people can just go, meditate, discuss, and they can leave. So, there is no obligation either from the host or from the people who are attending. We wanted to keep it as simple as possible so that people do not have any obligations to come. Because here in the US, at least, the practice is you need to take permission, you need to take all those formalities before you visit somebody's home, right? So to avoid all that, we kept it so simple. For a given time, that particular schedule in that particular center, it is open. So you don't have to be obliged or anything like that. You just, if there is a notification of a session, you just go, attend, share your experiences, discuss. Maybe they'll offer some water or fruit, if possible. You can take and you can leave.
And normally, what times do you actually schedule these?
So we used to do in the weekdays because everybody are working and they come a little late. So we keep it at the later hour of the evening. So probably around 8:30 or so. And Sundays we used to do 7 p.m. ESTs. So it will be about 1 hour session and about 30 minutes of discussion, and they leave.
Okay, this is how it used to happen, like before pandemic. And
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, great. So I mean, when these sessions are all stopped at the time of pandemic, right? So what was just going through your mind?
Yeah. So yeah, people were little afraid also to visit somebody, and because of some lockdown sometimes, and because we all need to follow the CDC guidelines, so we also said, okay, let's not do any in-person sessions. And but from then we started our online sessions. So that's when we introduced our channel called of PMC USA or PMC Multilingual, which we've opened up 2 channels so that all the content, what we are doing, live sessions, we used to stream through those channels. So we used to do sessions through Zoom. So the difference is, before pandemic, we were restricted to the boundaries because in-person sessions, only local friends, relatives who are close by, they used to come. But when we opened up the channel with the online sessions, there are no more boundaries, right? There are people joining from different regions, different countries. So there are a lot of people who are joining in these sessions. So this pandemic was I would say a boon kind of an activity from PSSM perspective, because there is a time where people wanted this kind of support, and they have a time to look back and see what they are, because they've been running always because of these situations, economic situations and all that. They're running everywhere. They do not know what their purpose is, and this is the time has come where people look back and take some opportunity, time for themselves. And these tools where the techniques of meditation helps is to look back really inside to see what is the whole purpose of what this life is about. And the sessions what we used to take help them in from that perspective to those people. So it helped them a lot in this pandemic.
So how did you make these transitions? Like I know where some of the sessions, like before pandemic also, we used to have some Zoom sessions with masters from India, and then later we used to have some weekly sessions in the Zoom before pandemic itself. But this Zoom helped us get us through these boundaries, right?
Right. And we apart from the ad hoc sessions, what we used to do, we framed some certain designed programs like a 21-day challenge, or a 41-day program, or like an inner journey program. We created programs with, of course, our great masters from India, like Balakrishna sir, like Patri sir. We took their advices and we created a lot of programs specific for that particular concepts, giving either basic concepts of Patriji or advanced sessions like Inner Journey. We created certain programs like that, and that is how we used to follow, other than the ad hoc sessions. So that helped people to focus more on a specific activity, also doing their ad hoc meditation sessions. That's how we used to do.
That's great. So what is the significance of this 41-day meditation, 21-day? Sometimes we'll used to have 11-day meditation program.
Yeah.
What exactly is, what is 41, 21? Why is that number?
Yeah, so that's a good question, right? Why do we do certain programs for 21 days, certain programs for 41 days? Because these are specific needs, right? Like if you take an Inner Journey program, that is kind of a 60-day program what we did, the initial Inner Journey, because it takes that kind of a time for the people to have this entire gamut of what we are planning to do. Like Inner Journey meanings, we talk about various 7 body structures, we talk about various chakra systems, right? There is so much of science, inner science, which we have never learned in our academic worlds, right? So there is so much of science within. That is our main focus was to bring that scientific approach into this meditation, right? So that is why there are some designed programs to cover that entire subject. If not, it will be like rushing to do that kind of a huge topic. It is like any other academic subjects, right? If you want to do, say, suppose engineering course, that's a 4-year course. So you will have to do that 4 years to obtain that degree. So similarly, there are some sessions which would take 41 days, and there are some sessions which are 21 days, because those sessions, those concepts, what we wanted to cover can be achieved in those 21 days. And it also helps that individual body, if there are new beginners, right? It needs that 41-day time to get that body accustomed to that kind of a program, to that kind of meditation technique, to make that body physically fit to do that practice, right? And then once they achieve that 41 days, then the body is accustomed, then they can do it on their own, depending on whenever they have time. But this 41 days will make this entire that physical body accustomed to certain kind of an activity. That is why we set up that kind of programs.
Oh, that's great to hear from you. I would like to ask one more question here on the same lines. Some people, like in the earlier days, some people who is just beginning the meditation, they always have this kind of conflict where meditation with the music or without the music or the guided meditation. Which one do actually they need to prefer if they are just beginning the meditation?
Yeah, so it's always based on the choice of what kind of meditation is suitable to each individual. But in general terms, we would always want to advise people to take the support of the music or the guided meditation, because though we are training our body to sit, we have in our whole lifetime, if you have not practiced meditation, in your whole lifetime you have never allowed or made the mind to be constant sitting in one place, right? So to make that happen in meditation would be very difficult, just by following the breath, which you are not used to. So the recommendation would be is always you take the support of the music or the guidance, so that initially when you are having like 100, 200 thoughts, based on practice, because you are used to hear some kind of music, some music you are kind of hearing, you are taking that as a support to hear or make your mind to come from that 100 thoughts to one thought. Then eventually when you practice that over a period of time, then bringing that from one thought to zero thought would be much more easier, rather than bringing from 100 to zero. That is where our end goal is. So our recommendation is always that take the support of the music or the guidance or pyramids. So these are all the complementary items which will add enhance your meditational experience. Meditation by default is what we need, but the music, the pyramid, the nature, all these would help enhance this meditation. So that's why we have so many techniques of meditation.
So apart from all these meditation activities and the sessions that you've been organizing so far, let us talk about your family and how do you actually manage the family as well as the profession with the meditation? How do you manage?
Yeah. So luckily for me, our whole family is meditation family, right? Like including my parents, now my wife Anila, or my kids Ankit and Harshit. As I said initially, that they are my inspiration, which means they are also practice meditation or in their earlier days. Now of course they have grown up and they still practice. So what we do is normally each individual, they do their meditation in their own times, but before going to bed we all sit together for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever is possible. We all sit together as a family and meditate, and that is our family meditation time. And we share any thoughts or experiences or any views. We spend that 30-40 minutes and then we go back to bed. So that way I would say that I'm fortunate that our whole family is part of that meditation.
Oh, thank you so much. So friends, today we learned more about Srikanth and how he's managing his life, as well as the meditation activities that's happening across the US. So I'm very thankful to have this kind of interview with Srikanth Garla. So thank you so much for watching, friends. Let us all meet again in the next video for the next session with another speaker maybe. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, do watch, share, like our PMC USA YouTube channel. Thank you. This is Arun signing off.
Thank you.